Hi, guys, and welcome back to our second episode of Structured Chaos with Kelly and Kyra. Hopefully, you're rolling on in from our last episode that we just recorded. We had a lot to talk about because it was a Love is Blind reunion and the challenge and just like our personal lives and things like that. So, we didn't want to make you guys like have to dedicate yourselves to a 3-hour episode. We are not Joe Rogan. And so there was so much happening in Housewives too. It was the Orange County finale. So I think we're just going to kind of get right on into Housewives.
Yeah. So first up, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessel had her Clueless-themed birthday party, which I think is a cute theme.
So cute.
They have lots of cute outfits going on in this episode. I loved that they all did different ones. I loved Jenna's outfit. She dressed as the dad from Clueless, which I think was so fun. She was holding up the phone the whole
was in
time.
character.
She was dedicated, which I thought was cute. I thought everyone looked cute. It was funny to me that Bryn had to leave early for a spray tan.
Which, like, I'm going to be honest, as a girl who loves a spray tan, I get it.
I mean, at least she was honest. In the words of Hannah, I'm honest.
And she came and she was in character. Her outfit was super cute. Sai's outfit was super cute.
Yeah.
Jessel's, like, they're cute. Like, Jessel's outfits were cute. But, like, for it to be my birthday and it to be a Clueless theme, like, I thought that she could have brought it much more. And I also don't think that she needed multiple outfit changes. And this is coming from someone who has a dress code. So I respect a birthday. But it's like, I don't, like, it's not your wedding. So I don't need outfit change after outfit change.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. There was a guy at her birthday party that straight up asked her husband, so how do you know Jessel? And he was like, I married to her. I'm sorry, who is at your birthday party that doesn't know who your husband is? It's strange.
That's very strange.
That was funny. Then Abe, Aaron's husband, just like causing drama unintentionally or maybe intentionally, but he just seems so like
I don't think it was like maliciously intent, like, you know. I think he was just like really just like, oh fuck, wait, we're on camera. I'm having this conversation with you. Like, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. Maybe this is between you and my wife. But maybe that's like the relationship that maybe like Jenna and Aaron are so close that he's involved in it and he feels like, hey, you know, check in with my wife and see what's up.
Yeah. So he basically like says to Jenna, like, you and Aaron are like having like some tension, or he says something like that. I can't remember his exact words. And Jenna's like, I'm fine. Like, is Aaron having feelings about something? And he was like, oh, no, I don't think so. Because he kind of like realizes like, oh shit. And then Jenna's like, well, if I'm not feeling it and she's not feeling it, like, who's feeling it? Like, what's happening? And he's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom or something like that.
I gotta go. But
I gotta go.
You figure that out, even though I've been speaking to you in code, and I gotta go. So, yeah, I mean, Jessel's party was cool. I like the theme. Clueless is like one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that everyone, you know, got into the theme, but again, still just like, okay, you don't need that many outfit changes. And then Ubah, I didn't love her outfit, which now makes me able to transition. She's painting now. So apparently she's painting, and she asked Raquel to come over to like look at her paintings, because like Raquel's like a art curator, which is like, it's just awkward because like you're not an actual artist. And like, and I get it. Like, art is subjective and, you know, it could mean something to a lot of people. Again, like totally, I understand that aspect of it, but like so random to like that's not like your heart's desire is to be, you know, an artist. So to like
Right.
have your, like to put your friend in that situation, like what seems to be a new friend, like that's just like weird to me. Like that's uncomfortable. It's like, of course she's going to be like, yeah, they're really good. I could,
Like,
yeah.
don't waste her damn time. This
You
is
know
like
what I
her
mean?
job, like her career, and you're
and
just
she's not
wasting
going to
her
be
time.
like, she's not going to sit there and be like, you fucking suck, don't do it.
Yeah.
And I, as a non-art curator, will tell you they sucked and
Don't
you should
do
not
it.
do it. Like if it's for like your healing and like whatever, your stress relief, cool. But like, okay, girl, give it to Andy to put in the clubhouse. Like that's
Right.
that's where we're going with that.
Just stick to modeling. Like you are the art.
Like as someone who is like a famous portrait, like I can sit here and tell you, you're not going to be you're not going to be next to me in the Louvre. Okay.
Nope. No one's competing with that.
So see ya, Ubah.
Yeah. And if you didn't see Kyra's costume last week, go take a look. It was epic.
I do like that they like continue to talk about Jenna or Aaron paying for the Uber for Jenna, but like that Jenna and Aaron are in on the joke and they're able to like laugh about it. I do think that that's important because we naturally always see cattiness from these women. So to like see you actually laughing along and going with a joke, like what a refreshing take on life.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, New York was not serving anything this week. I mean, back to back weeks of kind of nothing.
I thought it was sweet that they showed like a soft side of Sai. She planted a tree for her mom who passed, and I thought that was a sweet scene, and it was like very sweet and sentimental. And then it was funny because her mother-in-law was helping them, and it was her mother-in-law, right?
It was her aunt.
Her aunt, sorry.
I was like, did I miss that part?
Yeah, sorry. And then she had like, I guess, I don't know, because I didn't want to like touch the ashes or whatever. And so then like her aunt was doing it, and then she was like, you know, touching them or whatever, and they were like laughing, like, oh, she's like rubbing my mom on everyone, and like it was just like lighthearted and funny. And I thought that was sweet because she kind of gets this like rap of like being like angry
unemotional,
and like yelling
hard,
at people, and and so I thought that was sweet. And I love the idea of like the tree because she was like, oh, I get to go here and like be with my mom, and I'm like, oh, that's really sweet and sentimental. Very sweet. I like that. So
I mean, like, not to like talk about death or anything, like it's not coming anytime in the near future for me, but I would love to be cremated. Put me in the ocean and put me like in a tree, or you can like be made into a diamond. So you know, I like that. But yeah, I thought it was really sweet. I thought her aunt was super sweet, and like what she said, and like like Sai was a little shy to like say something, and her aunt just like took the reins and said really nice things and encouraged her to speak from the heart, and that was a very sweet moment.
Yeah, I liked that too.
And then Salt Lake, we pick up from last week where Whitney's husband Justin is yelling back at Whitney, and then him and John get into it, which is Lisa's husband.
I mean, come on. Just so the men are like beefing, and then the women are beefing, yelling at each other, and then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do a blessing because we're at a party. So Mary, can you do a blessing? And Mary's like, Lisa and Whitney, I need you to hold hands. It's very important. You need to hold hands. And Lisa's like, no, don't call me a liar. And Whitney's like, don't call me a liar. Don't call me a liar. Don't be a liar. Don't lie to me. Don't. And they're like, yeah. And then they hold hands.
And then they hold hands.
What the hell? But it was just like, this is just how these people are. Yep. And so, you know, whatever. It was just how they are. And okay, I'm laughing because I'm thinking ahead.
Yes, I know exactly what you're thinking about. Yes. We could just go right to it. It's fine. So after they get into an argument at the party, like they are friends. Like John and Justin are friends, and they've never had a problem with one another. And I actually did respect John's response to Lisa because I think that she wanted him to naturally say like, forget Justin, fuck him. I don't care. We're not friends. But he was like, well, I've never had a problem with him. Like, I absolutely will address it and speak with him. This is like the women should be taking a note out of their book. Like, this is how you handle conflict. Like, you have a conversation. So they meet.
Meanwhile, wait, I did want to get right into the Justin and John thing, but I will just say, because last week I said, oh, Justin doesn't really seem like the type. No, I take it back. Justin loves the drama.
Yeah.
He's a bitch, a baby back bitch. Because when they see John talking to Lisa saying, you know, being mature, then they show Justin pouring out a full bottle of Vita tequila and saying, we don't accept gifts from the Barlows. We won't be friends with them. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean.
Too extreme, too extra for no reason. I know. So John and Justin meet at a restaurant to talk about everything. And so they just show someone parallel parking. And it's
me.
Like, I think, I don't know if it's not in any of the ones that we've like published, like any of our recordings that we've published, but I did talk about parallel parking one time in like our recordings that we didn't put out. And I'm such a good parallel parker. I'm a good driver in general, but your girl can parallel park. So I'm like watching it and I'm like, good Lord, like who is this in this car? Like I honestly thought it was Mary for a second because I'm like, maybe she just like doesn't drive, like whatever. Like we see this like, and like the space is plenty big and you're driving a Range Rover. Like, doesn't it have like a backup camera? Doesn't it have like,
I was going to say, I'm not very good at parallel parking, but I don't have a backup cam and my car, I can't like, I mean, for context, I have a 97 Toyota 4Runner. I can't like see all of, like if there's a small car behind me, I can't really like see exactly how close I am to it. So that's like a little bit of my excuse. This car for sure had a backup cam. It probably had assisted parking or whatever. Like it would probably park itself.
Right. So hop out that whip, John Barlow.
So funny. Yeah,
you will see that in our carousel this week, so you guys can reference it. If you don't watch a show, you should just at least see that part because it's
it's great. And then so he gets to the restaurant and like it's just the most awkward meetup. Like they're talking about should we order appetizers, and then they're like, oh yeah, I heard the potatoes are good. It's just like so awkward to watch.
They said potatoes as many times as we said Melissa last week.
They did look fire though. I was like, those look good. Nice and crispy. So they order their drinks, they order their smashed potatoes or whatever, and they're just talking. They apologize. Justin's like, okay, so I'll give it to you that like you thought I was getting in Lisa's face, but what about the second time? Because I just leaned over. And it's like, Justin, just get over it. Like, just get over it. He apologized.
I'm definitely not on Justin's side whatsoever. And because when he was like referencing the second time, I don't recall seeing it. But when they played it back, I was like, oh, I guess, yeah, like that's like uncalled for. Like, like, because John just like came over and like smacked his hand out of the way when he wasn't even doing anything, which like I get it from John's perspective. Like you didn't know what he was going to do and he had just done this to your wife, but like you really didn't have to like do that. So I was like, okay, I can get that. And again, not that I'm on Justin's side.
Right. But then John was immediately like, yeah, like, I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. And like, he just immediately grown man, like, yep, sorry. But then, you know, he did say like, are you going to apologize to Lisa? Which I understand if Justin doesn't want to or doesn't feel like he needs to or whatever. But at the same time, like, if a man, just as a man, like if you're asking another man to just apologize to your wife, because it's like, we're grown men and like, we're friends and like, my wife just wants an apology and that's what it's going to take for us to just like carry on. Just fucking do it. Because think if the roles were reversed and Whitney had said, Justin, I need John to apologize for us to move on. It's just like, whether you think it's right or wrong, just do it. 100%. Because that's how it should be. Like, just make John's life easier. If that's really your friend, just make his life easier and apologize to Lisa. Just do it. and it's not like anyone did anything so crazy in this situation that like, oh,
There's no
we can
hard line.
never.
Right.
Right. It wasn't anything like the Jen Shaw situation, or it wasn't so crazy that people are like, whatever. So I just think Justin is drama, and I can't believe last weekend I was like, he doesn't seem like the type. He's the type. He is the type. He is a Slade Smiley of Salt Lake City.
Yes. Yeah. Because to your exact point, you're a grown man. If a grown man even has to ask you to apologize to their wife, we're already in a problem.
Uh-huh.
But if you then say no, or I have to think about it, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
You're a man.
embarrassing.
You're a man, and another man is asking you to apologize to his wife. There we go. And let's not pretend that either, like, and again, either party, you guys aren't innocent. Like, your wife does some triv ass shit too, just as much as Lisa does. So, like,
and he's asking you to apologize for like yelling and cursing at her.
mm-hmm.
You're not
Which
apologizing.
You did do those things.
Yeah, you're not. He's not saying apologize for like whatever happened between the women.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying apologize for yelling, raising your voice, and cursing at his wife, which you did, and that was inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So just apologize. He's not saying get involved in the women's drama. So the fact that he can't do that is ick, but we already felt icked out by him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then yet again, our queen Bronwyn, like, she just continues to be better and better every episode. I love her. She made Kelly's list of, top Bravo people on season 1, of her ever appearing. Like, this is how much of a statement this woman is making. And I love it because she is everything that we want to see on TV. She is funny. She can hold herself accountable. She is intelligent and able to articulate her feelings. She dresses bizarre. She's got money. Like, she's in on the jokes. Like, I just love her. So so her husband works in New York 4 days a week. Everyone welcome Scout, because she went from missing to a guest. So
no. She is once again missing.
But so Bronwyn's husband goes to New York about 4 days a week, and she says that it allows her this opportunity to do her favorite thing, which is dress up in costumes when she picks him up from the airport. So then
I would just like to say, as the sentence was coming out of her mouth, it allows me to do my favorite thing. I was going to be like, I was thinking, because I'm like, that would be so nice. Like, if you're the type of person that likes your alone time, I've lived alone for a long time. And if I, at this point in my life, marry someone who had that type of schedule that, was away a couple of nights a week or whatever, I feel like I would be okay with it. If the trust was there and all those type of things were in place. Of course. It's like,
if you're married,
having a couple nights alone every week, because it's like you can have your own schedule and do your own thing. And so I thought she was gonna say I could do my favorite thing, which is like what I don't know, like
whatever, watch trashy
my
TV.
shows or
right,
what. Yeah,
right.
I did not think.
So she's like, so it like goes to a montage of her like picking him up from the airport, and they are not just like costumes, they're inflatable costumes. And so it was a shark, it was a panda, it was a mushroom, it was a unicorn, a pig, and she's so funny, and I just love how he loves it, and like she just like she doesn't care, you know what I mean? Like, she is regular degular in her eyes, and like so then they like get him walking, and like obviously people around are looking, and he's like, "Don't even ask." He's like, "Don't ask."
She's and like on the luggage carousel. She's just jumping around. It's so funny.
I love her. She loves to like make light and have fun of things. And she even said it. She was like, we've been married for 10 years. Like, this keeps it fun. Like, I love it. She's like, I'm sure he would prefer if I pick him up in something super sexy, but like, this is who I am. And I can love, respect, and appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you could tell he just loves her. It's
totally
so adorable. So yeah, love her once again.
Sticking in theme of how much we love her. So her and Heather have been a little contentious towards one another. And to Bronwyn's point, she's like, because I think we're kind of the same. Like, I think we have a lot of similarities. So they're about to take everyone away, Bronwyn and her husband, for their for like an anniversary trip. And so she invites Heather over to her house because she's like, I kind of want to like clear the air. Like, you were just like saying all these like not so nice things about me and my husband and our marriage. Like, so let me like invite you over. Let's like squash the beef, because if I'm going to be inviting you on this trip, like, I want you to be my friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in true Heather fashion, which I used to love her. And she's a classic example of someone who was a crowd favorite on Bravo and then just like plays into that and feeds into it and changes her entire personality and feels like she has to be this
Me.
vindictive, evil person, but then like play and pretend that she's like the nice, peaceful one, whatever. So I will say I was grossed out that Bronwyn's dogs just, their poop was everywhere.
Oh, that was so gross. Like, so gross when they showed that. Because I'm like, that wasn't just like, oh, whoops, like my dog isn't potty trained. It was like they were showing. Yeah. So that was ew.
No. And she has 6 dogs, 6 boxers. So that was just like a little too much for me. But okay, girl, whatever. If that's the worst thing about you, that's fixable.
Yeah, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah, but we can fix it.
It's giving Alex love is blind.
We know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so she very matter-of-factly says to Heather, like, I know that I've treated you this way. Yes, I have been petty. Yes, I can acknowledge those things, but they are in direct response to these specific things that you have done and said. And Heather just twists everything and tries to make it about herself, and then tries to make it as if like Bronwyn was like inviting her over to like do a song and a dance, which is exactly what she said. She was like, oh, so what am I, like competing for a spot? And it's like, no, you're competing to being an adult so we can carry on our friendship. Like,
Right.
you've been shitty. I've been shitty. That's why I actually really like you, because that's what she said to her. And Heather just again switches everything and then like exits and like was like, I feel very uncomfortable here. Like, I have to go. And it's like, okay, girl. Okay, girl.
Yeah, Heather just wants everyone to just like, I don't know, like beg for her forgiveness or something. And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not into it. I'm glad that she's not inviting Heather. I'm glad that she didn't feel like, oh, I still have to have her come, you know. No. And then oh, I saw it on like a not Watch What Happens Live, but like just like an after show, and she was like, Heather was saying like, so you're not inviting me, but you're inviting all of my friends, and you're taking my friends from me, and I'm just like supposed to stay at home. And it's like, first of all, you guys have the same friends. So it's
Right.
like, and yes, she's not inviting you. Like,
Right.
and she's
you're
not
nice
taking
to
your
her.
friends. Like, yeah. Ugh, I just can't. Like, that just like bothers me. And then we had just like a little scene of Britani well, 2 scenes. She's having like a Bible night or whatever at her house, and Angie brings her a bottle of wine. And it's just so funny because like Britani is like in her confessionals like so offended, but then they like show a montage of her drinking continuously like at all the events. So it's like she's like, I can't believe she would bring that. Like, she knows like Mormons don't drink. Like, flash to
You
Britani drinking at every event, but okay.
Yeah.
And then Britani also goes to Heather owns like a beauty lab, like med spa place, and so they're having a conversation. Oh, Britani's like, LOL, when she was like, oh my God, like, Heather, can you believe what happened at the party? And Heather's like, oh my God, I know, with John and Justin, like, and Lisa, like, I just did not see that coming. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that too. And she's like, I was talking about Jared coming. And Heather's like, oh, like this tired old story? Like, yeah, I guess that was crazy too. Like, and Britani was like in shock that there was anything else that transpired at that party other than Jared the loser coming to embarrass her.
Like, we just don't care.
At all. And so Heather was like, listen, like, I'm trying to give it to you straight here. Like, you've been told, like, I've listened to your stories. Every single one of us has told you, like, this is not a good situation. This is a very toxic situation. And, like, your children don't speak to you because of
Mm-hmm.
this. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
and then always, like, automatically goes into, like, defense mode. And she's like, well, have you ever done something stupid for love? And Heather's like, yes, I have, which is why I can tell you, like, it ain't worth it. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And,
And I
like, the
learned my
moment that
lesson.
and the moment that my kids are jeopardized, my relationship with my children is jeopardized for a man who isn't like some like person treating me like, you know, I'm the best thing in the entire world and putting me on a pedestal. Like, no, this man is like treating you like the dirt on his shoe and you're still choosing him over your kids. Like, you got to look within, girl.
Yeah, it's not cute.
Last on our list, we got the Real Housewives of Orange County finale, which then means that we have the reunion that starts next week. So very excited. You know, in terms of like a finale episode, wasn't really giving finale, but still had enough juice, you know? They're back from London from the god-awful birthday trip. And apparently Shannon left early, which she deserved to. I mean, I wish that she didn't have to leave her own party early because everyone was treating her like shit, but I'm glad that she chose herself and left. So Alexis goes to Tamra's house and she shows up with like a thing of Clorox wipes with flowers on top.
Yeah.
And Tamra's like, what is that? She's like, I brought you a gift. And she was like, what's that? And she was like, for all this shit that we're about to talk. And I was like, if anyone ever shows up to my house like that, like, first of all, that's like the corniest fucking thing ever. And like, you're acknowledging that you're just like about to like talk a bunch of shit and you're like celebrating that.
Yeah, I'm so confused. I was like, are we watching an episode from 2020 where people were like
right.
giving Clorox wipes as gifts?
Nope, it's to wipe up all the shit we're about to talk. And then she's like,
I know.
No.
I didn't, yeah.
It's not cute.
Yeah, it was very strange. So like, then she tells Tamra, like, oh, Jen got engaged. I'm throwing her a party, which also that's like the big thing of the episode. Jen and Ryan got engaged after London, which her ring is large and
ugly.
She shows she shows the ring to Emily and Gina and Shannon when they go axe throwing and tells them, you know, about the proposal. So anyway, she's having this party that Alexis is throwing for her, which is going to be Katie, yes, which is going to be trashy bridesmaids, tacky bridesmaids dresses, which I think is more of like a bachelorette theme.
Yeah, I'm certainly not having that theme for my engagement party, but like, go off, whatever.
Yeah, and it was just kind of interesting because so they said, okay, the theme is tacky bridesmaids dresses, which first of all is just a strange theme to have because it's not just women, there's men there, so it's like it should have just been, if it's just going to be like tacky wedding or like, it was just very like broad, which is very apparent because then once we see the party, everyone, it's all over the place as far as what people are wearing. Some people look like they're going to prom, which I guess like 80s prom could be like a tacky whatever. But then like Alexis looks just like she's going to like a homecoming dance in 2009.
No, she looks like she could go to a wedding today. I mean, I know, again, but not like my style.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like she just looks like something like I wore like into a high school dance. Like it looks like a normal dress, but it just looks like, I don't know, it looks like a little outdated, but it didn't look bad at all. Like she just looks put together, but a little bit outdated.
She looks like she always looks outdated and tacky.
Exactly.
Like
she always looks outdated.
Like, and so it was so funny because Emily, like in her confessional, she was like, if I thought anyone was going to nail tacky, it was Alexis. And she just looks regular.
Like, which I mean, she kind of did because she always looks tacky, but she didn't really go for like the theme. Like she just looked put together like in her way. And then, but like And then Emily wore her own wedding dress, which
It's good for her for still fitting in it.
Yes, which is tacky to wear. I mean, that is a tacky
and
thing
I
too.
loved like that she added
The
like the
flower
crown
crown.
element, like that made it tacky for sure.
Yeah. And then Heather, and then Gina really went like 80s with she was wearing like a lot of things.
Gina, Katie, and Heather didn't really do it for me. Neither did Tamara.
Then like Jen.
Was Tamara there?
Yes.
Okay.
Jen was wearing like a Barbie.
She looked
thing.
tacky.
Yeah. But like it just, some people were like neon 80s prom tacky, and some people were like just, I don't know, it wasn't
they are
cohesive.
not a group that understands a theme very well.
No.
We've seen that time and time again.
Yes, which annoys me. It's like, have a theme, but then like make sure everyone knows the theme and stick to it. And like the guys weren't really in theme at all, I don't think, because how could they do tacky bridesmaids? Right. That's my point. They can't, because that's not a theme for men, unless they were going to wear dresses, which they could have. So anyways, the party was like whatever. They had like a Malibu station, which is tacky to me, but that's like just what Jen likes. That's not part of the tacky part. And it was kind of bizarre. Like, it was just them. You know, she didn't have any other like friends. She had some other family there.
I mean, it was a staged finale episode. Like, it clearly wasn't like a regular engagement party.
Right, but I feel like even usually the finale episodes, if they do parties, there's usually you could tell there's a lot more people there than just the cast, even if they don't show them. So, anyways, everyone's fighting as usual. Emily confronts Katie about the fact that Katie's daughter had said Emily's kids like called Heather mean. And so they show like a confessional of Katie being like, I mean, I can't remember her daughter's name, and I'm not even going to try because, we don't do names. This is not a name podcast. My daughter, Kylie. Yes, that sounds right. Kylie is 20. So I can talk to her about, like, it's almost like talking to a peer about, friendship, whatever. But I wouldn't talk to Bandon, who is the same age as Emily's kids, about friendship. And they flash to a scene at the dinner table of Katie's husband being like, how was your day? And Bandon goes, was Heather mean to you? Was she a jerk or like whatever? And it was,
she mean to you again? Like she always is or something?
She's always mean to you for the millionth time over and over, and she's mean to you every single day. So it's so like cute. Obvious that he has heard her talking about it. I doubt that she sits him down and says, Heather is so mean to me that he has overheard her. And so it was just like hilarious because she was like, I wouldn't talk to my kids about this, but kids hear everything. And we just love him. He's so cute. He's so cute. Star of the season. If you remember, he was the one who said the thing he was most excited to see in Korea was other Korean people. And we just love him. Like, that's one person that we just love is direct and honest. Yes. Like, love that for you. But anyways, so they're going back and forth, and then Heather and Katie are going back and forth. Heather, whatever. I don't know. It's just a lot of back and forth.
Heather's just so extra, and she can never someone gave it to her straight, and she was like, oh, really, Katie? Like, are you going to tell your kids that I'm a bitch? And she's like, well, yeah. She's like, because you are. And, she was like, not going to lie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and Heather acts as if she has just watched her kill her, their family dog. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, Heather's like, you cannot do anything worse than what was just done to me. And it's like, well, I could probably come up with a few things, really quickly. Really quickly. It's just,
I was thinking about because they showed the preview for the reunion. Heather's like, what did I run over your cat or something? Katie's like, don't have a cat.
And then, okay, so I think that what's the word I'm looking for? Theme? Sure. The storyline of the year or of the season was Gina's one of the storylines was Gina's boyfriend moved out. They had been living together for a while, but now they live separately. He's still not divorced from his ex-wife. I think it's like one of those like long drawn out. I think she has money, and that's why it's like been so contentious for like many reasons I had read somewhere. But I just need them, like, I hope that the reunion addresses it, because it's been confusing the entire season, like trying to understand why she would move out, and like, but like then they're still together every single day. Her kids are with him, his kids are with her, like they got another dog. So it's just been like very confusing. And I will say, like, I really felt for her when she was talking. And, you know, I understand both of their sides, because I understand Travis being like, this is not what I wanted. This is still not what I want. I'm not going to pretend that I'm okay with this. This is what you wanted. But I also understand from Gina's perspective, it sounds as if like his ex-wife is crazy, which I have like, they have verified that like online. But I need to know, like, what extent is she going to, and like, what is she specifically doing where Gina was like, I have to remove my kids from this environment. Like, I can't have it, which like I totally can understand needing to feel that way. And also too, like, I guess in the same sense of like, let me try this. And if nothing gets better, like, I'll at least be at peace knowing that I did try this option and that also didn't work, because she does want to be with him. She does love him. But apparently this ex-wife is like,
well, it makes me wonder, like, if that's why, like, the reasoning she gave for the whole move out, like, didn't make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like, because she didn't want to bring this on camera to say, like, well, the actual reason is because, like, we are unsafe living together because of things his ex-wife is doing. So she kind of, like, made up this other thing about, like, the house being too small and, like, not having the money to do stuff with all the kids. And we were like, those, like, it doesn't make sense, because then when he moved out, the kids were like still sharing rooms, and she like remodeled all the rooms. So obviously
Right.
they have money, and obviously the kids don't have a problem sharing the rooms, because when they showed the rooms now with the one with the fire pole and stuff, there's still multiple kids in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So like those reasons didn't make sense. And so now I'm like, okay, well, maybe it really is just all about the wife, but they didn't want to bring that to camera, so they just made up this other reason. But yeah, it doesn't make sense because we don't have all the facts. And I mean, I doubt they'll really, I hope they talk about it, but I doubt that we'll really get tons of clarity,
Right,
because
I'm sure it's still, like, active,
they're still
like,
in the battle.
yeah.
Yeah. And there's kids involved. So I'm sure in addition to the money, that's a big part of it, is they have like 2 or 3 kids together. I think 3. So yeah.
I just would like to know more. And like, that sucks. Like, that sucks for any person to have to go through, if you're in a blended family, to have to deal with the stress of the other person. Like, that just is unfortunate. And it's like, they're very capable, because Gina gets along seamlessly with her ex-husband and his new wife, or soon to be new wife, you know, and like, they really do have a like great bond. So like, I know it's not because she's not willing to like have a blended family, or like be, you know, one with the ex-wife. So that just sucks. And I feel bad for everyone.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll hear more about that at the reunion. So basically at the end of the engagement party, Shannon is storming out again. She kind of gets into like a weird altercation with Katie's husband, which was just like strange. And she like starts yelling at him, which was weird, because again, he's just like,
she's like, I'm nice, standing here alone.
Like, I'm chilling. And he's like, I care about you. And she's like, why? Blah, blah, blah. And then, but then she like doesn't leave, and she's like sitting outside, and John Jansen shows up, and Emily and Gina are like looking at him over the fence, which is like kind of funny. They're all like laughing and just whatever. And it kind of ends, not the episode doesn't end, but they show the like updates of people that they show usually at the end. And they kind of show like where people are now and what's going on. But then, because of the legal stuff that happened with Brian post filming, we kind of get like a bonus portion of the episode that they, you know, added on after filming. And so Ryan's best friend, who they had, you know, talked about this throughout the season and Tamara had said they're being investigated by the FBI and all these things. So Ryan's best friend gets charged. Ryan gets charged with all of these things. Ryan ends up being acquitted. His best friend, who was at the engagement party, all these things, pleads guilty. I don't think he's been sentenced yet. I don't know. But
No,
he's
but he's
facing
like up to 18 years, I think,
18
in
years in
prison.
prison, I think.
Yeah.
So Ryan has basically been acquitted of all wrongdoing. And so everyone, like, whether we believe it or not, it doesn't matter. In the eyes of the legal system, he was not found guilty of any wrongdoing. And so it doesn't matter if you think he's a shady person, a slimy person, or whatever. And I personally, like, think he's kind of like, obviously don't like his style. But I will say, if you look at just his actions, he has taken on Jen and all of her kids. He pays for all of this stuff financially. He seems to take very good care of her and her family. He seems to be a genuine person relationship wise. Now, like, legally, I have no idea. So, like, morally and legally and how he gets his money, I obviously have no idea. But as far as, like, how he treats people in his life, he seems to be a genuine loving person. He seems to really love Jen and her kids and take very good care of them and be loyal. I know there was some weird stuff the first season, but then, like, nothing really came of it. And, like, the source was Tamara, so we don't like her or trust her, so that's always fishy too. And just because someone says it doesn't mean it's true. I don't know. Like, I feel like he, not like saying like, oh, I'm like a huge fan of him, but like, I don't think he's like as horrible as he's been painted out by Tamara. I think if you just look at how he has taken care of Jen and her kids, I think that's honorable. I'm not saying he's like a good guy. I don't know him. I know nothing about him. I think if you are associating with the type, like his best friend and the stuff he pled guilty for, I'm sure you were, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. Maybe you were somewhat involved, allegedly, and your friend obviously took the heat because that was the majority of them, whatever. But I think it appears that he has a good heart for his loved ones. And I would say I like him more than Tamara. So, I mean, I will say that for sure. And I think that when they basically sat down with Jen and had this whole talk about like everything he does is bad for you, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think they were saying it obviously because like the money and like it's very much like a Teresa situation. Like they don't want her to get wrapped up in this and get in trouble. And I'm glad for her sake that he was acquitted, because obviously it does appear that she's very like aloof in general and just like doesn't really know what's going on with anything. So that would be a shame for her to get caught up in something like that. But I don't know. I'm happy for, like, I want her to be happy. And if he treats her well, maybe this was like a wake up call for him, and hopefully he'll get on like a straight and narrow path if he was involved in anything.
So I definitely agree with like a lot of the things that you said. First and foremost, like he does stand up as a partner. Like he took all of her children in. He has no problem about it. He will actively parent with her. He cares about her. And she said it so perfectly. And I like really felt for her when she's in the kitchen, you know, talking with Gina and Katie. And she was like, I was married to someone who I couldn't beg to have a conversation with me and pay attention with me and pay attention to me. And this man that I'm with tells me everything. We tell each other everything. We have each other's back. And I think that she knows what she was in versus what she's in now. And so she does see a difference and feel a difference. And she is very aloof and like, but she's also just like, she's just like happy. Like she just is like a nice, happy person. So to your point, like, I'm so glad for her sake that he was acquitted. I definitely think he's shady. He definitely is financially shady in there because they referenced that he had $16 million put into his account and he didn't know where it came from. Like, God willing, I hope something happens like that to me, and I hope I never have to give it back. Like, but I'm glad that he was acquitted. I think that to your exact point that you just said at the end, like, listen, sir, whatever role you did or did not have in this, you just got to get out of jail free card. So please, please, please make wise choices going forward. Like I said, I don't think you're maybe like work wise, like very ethical. So take this as your opportunity to like, let's start being ethical. And, you know, you have the opportunity and the platform and like, just, yeah, I'm not taking Tamara as my source for any information. I just really hope that they, you know, stand the test of time. And I hope for Jen's sake, you know, yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he got acquitted so that she could look at every single one of them and be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
And then Tamara, like, putting the fucking FBI baseball hat on when they're out to lunch. It's just like, why? What you, like, you're, before he was acquitted, you're in the right to say the things that you wanted to say. So you don't need to like be childish and immature and that much like go lower than everyone by putting an FBI hat on. Like, okay, we get it. He made front headline news. Like we get it.
I'm sorry, but right before the engagement party, she's like, I want to be friends with Jen again, and Shannon's ruining our friendship, and I just want to be there to support Jen. So then,
no, girl, you're ruining your friendship.
Every time something happens, then why are you celebrating the downfall? Why are you so quick to be like, told you so? Why are you so quick? Even if I had someone who I cared about, even if my best friend,
right.
like not my actual best friend, but like my best friend's man, like over and over doing something, I'm not going to be like, told you so, told you so. I'm not going to celebrate in that because my best friend is hurting. So if that's your friend, why are you celebrating the fact that her man is potentially going to go to prison? Because that means your friend is going to be hurting. Even if you were right, like then you should
just trash.
Yeah, it's
trash,
not
trash,
cute.
trash.
It's not funny. But I'm excited for the reunion because it
Hell
looks
yeah.
really good. So, yeah. So
thanks for joining along with us.
I mean, we had a lot to talk about this week. That's why I did 2 separate episodes. Obviously, we'll be back to like a more normal schedule now that Love is Blind is over. We'll be back to just like our regular shows. But yeah, thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe, comment, rate, review, share, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, all the things. All the information is down below in the description, and we will see you next week. Bye.